let's just get it out there right now. Winter sucks, okay? I don't like winter, but I do use it as a time for preparation and recovery. I go through my fly boxes, my fly lines, my reels. I changed out a lot of my fly lines. I tie up new leaders. I will do a video on leaders. I do use it as a time for preparation, but you can actually go out and get carp. So let me walk you through this carp first of all. He was right against the bank. I didn't see him initially. It wasn't until right about here that I saw him. I make a quick false cast just to get my distance there and then dropped it in. I actually dropped it and I thought he went by it and he wasn't going to eat it, but you see how much he turned there, came back and ate that fly. I don't normally, once I get that far past it, make a move like that to come back and eat. But, if you get it next to their face kind of as it floats down, that is the trigger point, that really will trigger strikes a lot of times. You don't necessarily need to be in front of the carp, although that was quite a bit further back than you normally see. This was my best carp of this particular trip. Most of the carp here are small, but this is a great carp for winter carp fly fishing. So let's talk a little bit about carp fly fishing in the winter, and then I'll kind of walk you through some of the other fish here. It is a big challenge. The biggest challenge is finding water warm enough for the carp to be active. When you get down near freezing temperatures, carp become incredibly inactive. They don't move much, they don't feed much, they become incredibly wary. And that is definitely the case even here, but this is an area where the water's warm. This never freezes because there is warm water dumping into it. So you look for those areas. So you can see all these carp right there. How many? There's a whole big school right there. They were facing the wrong way, but I cast it out. Give it a shot, right? And then this little guy ate it. And this is a little carp, but a lot of what we see here. But you'd notice there that really none of those were feeding. You see a lot of that more in the wintertime. Where the carp aren't going to feed nearly as much. It's also extremely difficult this time of year to see them. So this guy right here, I dropped it on him. You see he turned right there and then refuses it. So he came over and he gave it a look and then just refused the fly. You get more of that this time of year too. I don't know exactly why. I think it has something to do with the much lower light levels. You really can only fish for a couple of hours where you can actually see a couple hours during the day. Last year I did catch a couple carp in December on the fly. I'm going to try to do that again this year. I don't know if I'll be successful. I don't have a lot of, it's hard this time of year. You got to find water that's warm. You need a really good, warm, sunny day, preferably as little wind as possible, because that wind puts a little bit of chop on the water and that creates shadows and it becomes so hard to see. That little tiny fish that I just had there, that was a little bass. So that was the other issue I was running into this day, was there's a lot of little bass here. And they would come over and eat the fly, and that would spook the carp. So this is another one. There's a couple right there. I dragged and dropped it, and I'm just like slow twitching it right there. But he comes forward and eats right there as I'm slow twitching. I didn't see him eat it, but I just kept slow twitching until I felt him, and then I set the hook. This is another smaller carp, a little bit better than the last one. But again, this time of year, I don't know that you can be much of a beggar, to get out and catch some fish, to sight fish for them, spot the fish. It's just a blast. So that was the only carp I caught. I had so many bass hit that I decided to throw on a little popper. And so the last of this is actually, you can kind of watch the fly there and then smash. There was a ton of little bass. So I threw the little chartreuse gurgler on and worked down this creek a little bit. And had a pretty good time right here. A lot of times there was a lot of misses along the way where they would swipe at it and not get the fly in their mouth. And none of these bass were very big, 8-10 inchers were some of the bigger ones. So there was a hit there too. Just a chartreuse gurgler, and that's how I kind of finished out the evening, just chasing these guys. And I just tried to enjoy a cold but beautiful evening out on the water, which are pretty rare. The cold is not rare, but the beautiful evening that you can handle in the wintertime on the water catching fish. So it was pretty fun, enjoyable. Even the little carp, it's just nice to get out and chase fish. So I appreciate you watching, guys. Like and subscribe. I'll try to get some more tutorial related content out, more stuff to get prepared for next year. But as I can, I'll try to get other videos out. Yeah, thanks guys, and we'll see you soon.